Hello, gorgeous people, and welcome to another TV Central one-on-one podcast. I'm Aaron Ryan. This is episode 49, 2023. Riptide traces the life of newlyweds single mum Alison, who marries the older and wealthier Sean and moves into a gorgeous home by the sea, along with her teenage daughter, Hannah. But there's tension too. Sean's adult son, Ethan, is against the marriage. Despite the obstacles, the happy couple are determined to navigate a future together until tragedy strikes. Alison's life is plunged into despair when her husband vanishes after a morning surf. Did he get caught in a dangerous riptide, or is there more to his disappearance than meets the eye? There are suspects galore, including the aforementioned Ethan, Sean's son. Ethan is played by Ben Turland. Ben is known for his role as Hendrix on Neighbours for over 650 episodes. He also appeared in a guest role in Home and Away and in the series Love Child, and he's got a few upcoming projects we'll talk about. Ben joins me now to discuss all things Riptide and his career thus far. Ben, thank you for joining me at TV Central.
G'day. Thanks for having me.
I've set the scene for the premise of Riptide. Would it be fair to say that the drama is about uncovering what happened to Sean over the 4 episodes, and there's going to be some backstory of each of the characters?
Yeah. I'd say most of the drama stems from kind of what happens to Sean. So that's right. And there is a little bit of backtracking of the relationships between all the characters too.
Yeah. Your character, Ethan,
Mm.
is certainly troubled and a top suspect in all of this. But
Mhm.
then there is Ethan's mother, Rachel, Alison's ex-husband, Michael, David Berry's character, Dan, and maybe completely left field, perhaps Alison is involved herself. You never know. Is that the idea? So many suspects, it makes it more fun trying to figure it all out?
Yeah, I think that's what they were going for. I think what it was, kind of make everyone look like they could possibly be, the main suspect or the person who kind of did it all, so that it keeps the audience guessing throughout the whole series. Because there is kind of, only 4 episodes, so they've got to throw all this information in the 4 episodes and get people kind of thinking and different plot twists throughout. Keeps it exciting, keeps it on your toes, I guess. So yeah.
Your character, Ethan, is obviously dealing with a lot of mental health issues. It certainly shines a spotlight on mental health for young men. Was this highlighted during the course of production, and in the back of your mind in the creation and portrayal of Ethan?
Yeah, I mean, definitely for me, I wanted to. I thought it was very important to show, to tell this kind of story for Ethan and how young men kind of deal with these kind of events or anything that kind of happens to them, and also dealing with anger and betrayal and how to. It's just a really good example of showing how young men can kind of just react completely out of emotions and not actually think about logically about how to deal with their emotions. Because I know that a lot of young men don't actually quite know how to deal with emotions. You don't have to always react so instantly and off something so big like anger and frustration and the importance of being around people that care for you and listening to them, and actually actively listening to them and taking it in what they're saying, because they do know you the best, and so and they're there to help you. So I thought it was really important to tell because it's I mean, for myself and for people around me, I've witnessed young men just kind of spiraling because of something that's happened to them, or grief, or even kind of breakups or whatever it is. Young men kind of don't know how to deal with those heavy intense emotions.
So your character Ethan is gay in the series. I like the fact that
Mhm.
aside from being gay, there is nothing else highlighted about his sexuality. It's just a character that happens to be gay. He doesn't appear to be central to the storyline. We've certainly come a long way in the portrayal of gay characters in Australia, haven't we?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's important. I mean, the story is not so much about the sexuality, but it is important to highlight it if it keeps it true to the character, which I think it was quite important to the character, especially the relationship that he does have in the series, which is kind of like his rock and his solid, and that's someone who really knows him so well. And so yeah, it's kind of not like a a story about the sexuality. So it was kind of nice to put that in there as well, and portray that, but not make it kind of like a maybe like a staple thing for the series. So yeah, but it's
Yeah.
good that people are getting around that, and Australian series is on television and stuff, and especially free to air and everything. It's good to see. It's really good to see.
So tell me about filming. I hear it was just a tad chilly.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's I mean, I don't know if it comes across on screen, but there was some days there that were very cold. I mean, winter in Melbourne is brutal. And where we were shooting in Frankston there on Mount Martha, it was right on the edge of just kind of this big hill off Port Phillip Bay. So the wind was just absolutely just intense. Some days shooting outside was really intense. Luckily for myself, I had a lot of my scenes inside and in the studio and in location. But I know that some of the other actors really struggled for what the environment, because they were some. I mean, Peter O'Brien lives I think in America most of the time, and David Berry, I think he lives. He's kind of all over the place, a lot in Europe and stuff. And I mean, he'd have to deal with it too. But even he was just poor fella, was not expecting that. So yeah, it was intense. But it kind of made I guess, the filming of it all, because of the sense of the show, it kind of, I think, maybe added to that little, the suspense and the heightened drama, because we're all freezing as well. So the heart rate's already going.
Speaking of the cast, great cast. Peter O'Brien, you mentioned, who's an Australian legend. People will know him from many series, most notably, if you're going right back to the Flying Doctors, the talented Ali Fowler, Pia Miranda, and David Berry, who I almost didn't recognize with the long hair, a bit like you at the moment. But he was, of course,
right.
in a place to call home. Do you find yourself as an actor continuing to grow and learn when you're working with such legends in the Australian landscape?
Absolutely. I think, I mean, in any kind of sense, when I'm around other actors and people that are like-minded, I learn mostly from them, even whether it's class or on set or whatever it is. I find I learn most from the people that I'm involved with, and especially working with some of these actors and working closely with Ali Fowler playing my mum, and also just kind of the connection that they have and the way they hold themselves on set, the professionalism, them being able to kind of still make the environment on a set so welcoming and fun, and being able to have a joke whilst also being able to snap back into character, and being professional and listening, and taking direction, all in whilst having a good time. So I mean, I learned something every single set that I go in. But yeah, definitely working with these guys, it was cool to see also their kind of process within, like the thriller kind of it all, and how they judge that. I mean, Peter O'Brien was great when we did a few scenes together, kind of trying to establish the father-son relationship. He was great to feed off, because there was a few things he added within the story, as if we've had inside jokes and this stuff. So yeah, and I got along really well with everyone too. So it was a really nice set to be on. It was really fun.
It was a fairly quick shoot, wasn't it? Is 5 weeks, is that pretty normal for a 4-episode drama? Seems
I
quick.
mean, it is very quick. Yeah, we shot it very quick. I mean, on Neighbours, we shoot very fast. We shot very fast. Pardon me, on Neighbours, and then we shot even faster doing Riptide, and so that was yeah, very very fast. It was a little quick turnaround, and it was. I mean, for myself, I already was quite match fit. You know what I mean? Because I just done a few years on Neighbours. I was quite prepared for that level of shooting and that pace. But I think some of the other actors were a bit like, "Whoa, okay, this is quick. I gotta know my material," So, but it's yeah, it was really quick. 5 weeks. I'm not sure about any other series. I know I shot like a web series once. It was um, a similar pace. It was about 4 or 5 weeks as well for a same amount of episodes. So I think I don't know if that's just how we do it in Australia or that's how I guess we just shot it. I don't know. But it was yeah, it was quick, but it was fun. I think it was nice to keep that pace alive.
Yeah. Look, it would be hard not to mention Neighbours in this podcast with the revival now shooting. Your
Mm,
character has passed on, but which I imagine would make a long-term return difficult. Were you
mm.
excited for the team though that the revival actually happened?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, a lot of the people there are like family to me. I still keep in contact with a lot of the people, and also for the fans as well. Like that show really kind of opened up to how, for me especially, how important having shows like this, the long lasting dramas, and how important they are to be in people's living rooms every night. And because for some people it's that level of it's that one part, like part of the day they can sit down, relax, and just enjoy a bit of television, no matter how crazy their day is or their home is. They can sit down with their family, and it's like the level to connect with themselves or with their family members. And I think it's so important that these shows stay alive, and it was really happy. I was really happy and excited for
Mm,
everyone to continue that. And also the training for young actors, the training that I had on it was just phenomenal. It was like a masterclass. I was working with some of the best actors in Australia, and some of the guest roles that came on. You're learning something constantly, being on set for 5 days a week for 42 weeks a year. You're just constantly learning. And so for any upcoming actor or any actor that wants to learn, I think it's so important that we have these shows for these young people to kind of grow and learn. And yeah, because it's nothing really like it. You know what I mean? That you can go to uni or whatever, this, that, but being on a set and learning on a set is just you can't beat it.
yeah.
Mm.
I said it was difficult to return your character, but this is an Australian drama. Not it's not impossible. Can you call
Mm.
that a return? Anything's possible, surely.
That's right. Anything is possible, especially with Neighbours. These soaps, they'll pull a story out of somewhere. I mean, yeah, if the I don't know, if it came forward and we could we could work on something, then who knows? Who knows what would happen?
All right, so
Mm.
no slowing down. Neighbours, Riptide, and now Paper Dolls, about the
Yes.
rise and fall of a fictional manufactured girl group Harlow. That will also air
Mhm.
on Channel 10. You're certainly keeping it in the family, Channel 10 family. What can you tell me about Paper Dolls and the character you play?
Yeah, I mean it's quite cool that I get to kind of keep it in that family of Paramount and Channel 10. That show we just wrapped that recently, and that was a lot of fun because I get to kind of dance in it. And I'm playing a 2000s 90s 2000s pop star as well. So I feel like that was a role that I've always dreamt of playing. And my character kind of comes in, kind of stirs up the drama. There's a bit of there's a lot of there's a lot of dancing, a lot of singing, a lot of I mean, I don't know how much I can say, but I think it's a really exciting series. I think this series is going to be um, kind of taken very very well. I think it's something we haven't seen before. The girls, the main cast, are just phenomenal, lovely people. I got along with them really well, and my character's a lot of fun, quite cheeky, a lot of energy, and kind of just unapologetically himself,
Mm.
which is quite nice as well. It was just a lot of fun.
I also think you're up to post-production on 13 Summers. Can you give me a little teaser about the plot, perhaps your
Yeah.
character and the cast involved? Because I saw that there was a big Australian legend in that one.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, there is that one is post production. That one's a psychological thriller as well. So similar kind of energy to Riptide, but it is definitely different. And we shot that one up at in Harvey Bay on Kildare Island, which was a lot of fun also. But that storyline is it's a tricky one. There's a lot of twists and turns, and it's basically my character is a young British backpacker who comes to Australia to kind of get away from the world that he's in back home, and comes here to work, and he meets a couple, and then kind of things get a bit interesting, and yeah, I got to work with Georgie Parker again, which was really fun. And Ben Phillips, that's his character's name, Nathan Phillips, and Hannah, which was that was a lot of fun as well. And the crew on that, we had that was a very fast shoot as well. I think that was 5 weeks as well. And we were shooting in December up in Queensland, so it was very hot and sticky, and yeah, the crew were really helpful within that. Like with that, we couldn't have got through that without the crew. So but yeah, that one's also really exciting. I don't know I'm not sure when that one's coming out, but that one's looking to be quite intense. So I play a very different character in that too. It's I think he's quite different in that. He's a little bit cheeky still, but yeah.
All right, so that's coming up as well. I mean, that's a big enough workload, but is there anything else you can mention that's coming up?
No, I mean there's a few things in the pipeline, but it's you know how it is. It's kind of I can't really say too much until there's
An announcement.
kind of like
Yeah.
there's an announcement. Yeah. But I'm working on a lot of my own stuff. I'm a dancer, so I'm dancing a little bit again, which is nice, keeping me grounded. Making a bit of music as well. So kind of diving into creativity in any place, anywhere I can, really. So it's quite nice to have that time and do your own kind of passion projects and your own creativity. That's what fuels me to continue to do what I love. So it's good. I'm liking that time as well, just to dive into my own stuff.
Yeah. And just for people that want to follow your journey, where can they find you on the socials?
It's just on Instagram. It's just at Benjamin Turland, and that's kind of the only thing I really use. I don't use too much other socials because it takes too much time up in my day. So yeah, I had to delete TikTok and all that because I just found myself scrolling. So yeah.
All right, and just finally, as we return to Riptide, with some of these Who Done It type series, some like to tie things up nicely at the end for a big reveal, and sometimes there is a more open-ended conclusion that still leaves some questions. A number of characters have had some shady past and conflicts. Are we going to get some definite answers by the final episode?
Absolutely, you'll get some definite answers. You'll see some growth in the characters, and there's definitely some plot twists that you will not expect to see, and you'll be quite surprised and sitting on the edge of your seat. So keep watching. It's going to be a roller coaster.
All right. I mean, having said all that, I've just watched the entire 4 episodes. What a ride. I changed my mind on the outcome a few times, and even so, I didn't get it quite correct to the end. So, but a great Australian thriller. Well done on your character, Ethan. Very layered, complex, and intriguing, and certainly complicated. And well portrayed, Ben. Thank you for dropping by for a chat here at TV Central.
Thank you so much for the chat, and yeah, glad you enjoyed the show. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you more often and listening. So yeah, thank you very much.
Got to have you back for Paper Dolls, because that's coming up later in the year. That was Ben Turland from the new Channel 10 Australian thriller Riptide. You can catch the series Wednesday nights on 10 and watch the series via 10 Play. You could also catch Ben in Paper Dolls coming soon to 10 and 10 Play, and 13 Summers whenever that's coming out, hopefully this year or next. Well, that's it for this podcast. For all the latest news, streaming options, ratings, television guides, and podcasts, head to tvcentral.com.au. via tvcentral.com.au. But for now, I'm Aaron Ryan. Thanks to Ben Turland. Bye for now.